Education in time of crisis, changing the landscape of learning delivery. Learning modalities in the new normal. Credits to Leila P. Ariola, Director 4 of Bureau of Learning Delivery. This is the official statement on the opening of classes for school year 2020-2021 by Secretary Leonor Magtulis Briones. It will be recalled that at the height of the Marawi uprising, our call was education must continue. In the midst of the coronavirus crisis, our call remains the same. Education must continue, whether face-to-face or virtual, with or without physically going to school. What we assure our learners, parents, teachers, and the general public is that any decision we will make for the continuation of learning will have their health, safety, and well-being as primary consideration. We shall overcome. Sama-sama sa pagsulong ng edukalidad, addressing the challenge of quality in basic education. So this is the plan of actions. First, prepare. Prepare learners to acquire skills necessary for the success in the next school year. Next, map out. Map out all learning resources giving consideration to the context and types of learners. Next, align. Align learning materials with curriculum standards. Utilize. Utilize ICT systems and other available media like television and radio. Capacitate. Capacitate school officials and teachers who are knowledgeable in the design and execution of various NF2F learning delivery options. Next is orient. Orient learners and parents about the different approaches in gaining access to learning resources and communicating with teachers. Next, ensure. Ensure a safe and conducive learning environment. And lastly, tap. Tap other stakeholders to ensure quality delivery of distance education and/or blended learning. Basic considerations, we have access, conditions or situations, availability of resources, and the readiness. What is an LR portal? It is the official learning resources repository management of DepEd. It houses quality assured instructional tools which is ready to print. It is a standalone software platform that is built only for learning resources management. The ecosystem cannot be upgraded for emerging technologies. What is DepEd Commons? It is the official online delivery platform to support blended learning modalities. It houses interactive, gamified emerging technology materials such as ebooks, widgets, mobile apps, and HTML5. Linkage to a learning management system or LMS and classroom management system or CMS platforms. What are the different learning delivery modalities that can be adopted by the schools? What could be a relevant and responsive learning delivery look like? We have face-to-face, we have blended learning, homeschooling program, and distance learning. In the learning delivery modalities, face-to-face, distance learning, blended learning, and homeschooling. Under distance learning, we have online distance learning, modular distance learning, and TV radio-based instruction. Under online distance learning, we have the synchronous learning and asynchronous learning. For blended learning, we have face-to-face plus online distance learning. We have face-to-face plus modular distance learning, face-to-face plus TV radio-based instruction, and we have face-to-face plus online distance learning plus modular distance learning plus TV radio-based instruction. And what could be a relevant or responsive learning delivery look like if it is under MGCQ or Modified General Community Quarantine, Or we have ECQ, MECQ, or GCQ. Under MGCQ, we have face-to-face, blended learning, and we have homeschooling or ADM. Under ECQ, MECQ, or GCQ group, we have distance learning and homeschooling. For face-to-face, under MGCQ, we have pure face-to-face. For distance learning, ECQ or MECQ or GCQ, we have modified distance learning, online distance learning, ETV or radio-based instruction, MDL or modular distance learning, and ODL or online distance learning, MDL modular distance learning, and TV or radio-based instruction. We have online distance learning and TV or radio-based instruction. We have modular distance learning, online distance learning, and or ETV or radio-based instruction. Under blended learning, MGCQ, we have face-to-face and modular distance learning, face-to-face and online distance learning, face-to-face and TV or radio-based instruction. And we have face-to-face and modular distance learning and or online distance learning and or TV radio-based instruction. And for ADM, we only have home schooling program. The learning delivery modality adapted by the school or chosen by the learner or parent may be changed when deemed necessary and possible based on, but not limited to, any of the following conditions: health and physical distancing protocols and other guidelines set in their respective areas, changes in the health status of the learner's assessment results show that the learner is not doing well in the learning delivery modality chosen, and when there are indications and reports of negligence and abuse validated through home visitation. Face-to-face learning under MGCQ areas. We have these learning resources: teacher's guides, learner's materials, textbook, and teacher's manual. Usual time allotment. Teacher-learner ratio. For desks and chairs, we have 21 learners, and for armchairs, we have 18 learners. For face-to-face learning, we have in-school and off-school. For in-school, we have the face-to-face of the teacher and the pupils or students, in school only. For face-to-face learning off-school, it is divided into two. We have the face-to-face happening in school with the students and the teacher, and also in off-school, they can also have the face-to-face for the teacher and the students in the barangay hall, for example. For distance learning, regardless of the type of distance learning, teachers or learning facilitators or para-teachers shall monitor learners' progress, provide learning feedback, and be available for consultation or one-on-one conference. So who are the persons involved in the implementation of distance learning? We have the following: the teacher, the parent or guardian or school officials who will act as learning facilitators, the learner, the school head, and the community stakeholder. So for distance learning, we have modular distance learning. So in modular distance learning, every learner is provided with either printed self-learner modules and or offline digital format of saved on CD or DVD or USB storage device. After that, complete set of learning package or the self-learning modules and study guides will be given to the students. Then provisions of LMs and textbooks, and teachers must provide and support and have remediation, enhancement, and enrichment activities, and of course through the help of the parents who will act as co-facilitators of the teachers at home. So in modular distance learning, the self-learning modules are designed to provide learners with, first, understanding of key concepts, second, sufficient practice to master learning contents, and we have flexibility in finishing each module. Another distance learning is the online distance learning. For online distance learning, the learning materials are accessed via self-learning modules uploaded in DepEd Commons, DepEd Recognized Learning Management System, the Edmodo, Google Classroom, Moodle, Schoology, other open educational resources or OER. These materials will be accessed with a digital device by the students through internet, and after which the school meets the requirements set with laptop, mobile phone, or any device. Then the availability of resources online. Then teachers know basic computer skills and online teaching methodology. So as you can see in the online distance learning, the learner must have a computer set at home. It can be desktop or a laptop, and with, of course, an accessible internet connection. Another modality is the TV radio-based instruction. Video lessons for TV, radio-based lessons or radio scripts, or ETV packages. So these include supervision or guidance of learning facilitator or the para-teacher and be conceptualized as an interactive approach. So, of course, this is done through the use of TV or a radio set. And of course, even with the use of TV or radio set, this will still have the which will be supplemented with learners' worksheets or activity sheets. This television channel is through DepEd, or the Department of Education, Digital Rise Philippines, Learning Never Stops. Another modality is the blended learning. Blended learning is a mixture of all modalities. We have the face-to-face, online learning, modular learning, and TV or radio-based instruction. What is homeschooling program? Homeschooling shall cater to learners with unique needs and circumstances. It shall require learners to be taught by parents, guardians that will act as learning facilitators. It shall adopt flexibility in learning delivery, scheduling assessment, and curation of learning resources. The homeschool program caters to various types of learners whose situations and conditions may be one of, but not limited to, the following: learners at risk of dropping out, learners with special educational needs, learners incapable of reporting to school regularly because of a medical condition, learners in emergency situation or in conflict areas, learners who had unpleasant experiences in a regular school, learners who are forced to drop out due to some circumstances, children of parents whose job requires them to travel, learners whose studies are interrupted due to relocation of parents within the Philippines or as OFWs, children of parents who by choice wish to have their children educated at home. So this is our challenge. Since 18% of households with internet connectivity, 55% of households with smartphones, we have a special responsibility to ensure continuity, inclusion, and equity for all students. These are the groups that comprises the challenge. The first learner group, we have the learners without parents or household member who can guide and support their learning at home. Next, we have the beginning readers from kinders to grade 3, struggling readers from grades 4 to grade 12, the group with no access to devices and internet, inaccessible live-in remote and or unsafe areas, the indigenous peoples, the persons with disabilities, and others. With the pandemic we are facing today, our mission is to overcome the education crisis. The challenge today is to reduce as much as possible the negative impact it has caused in the learning of our learners. With us learning and helping each other, we will win this problem. Just be informed, stay healthy, and keep fighting COVID-19. Thank you.